Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with a pre-recorded message. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and a fantastic week. I'm currently on vacay, but if you guys are seeing this, you'll see that I do have some gameplay or some pre-recorded videos. And on top of that as well, I will try to get my tower and some of the other stuff uploaded here. It just won't be with the commentary side of things like I usually do, but ultimately, I have no idea what the video is about, so apologies now in advance, but hopefully you guys are able to get through whatever I am making a video about, question mark. Other than that, hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be back in about a week and a little bit, and I'll be back to my regular, my regular, whatever you want to call it, regular, whatever. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for, for chiming in on the comments as well here, and I'll do my best to kind of address those upon my return. Other than that, guys, thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, guys, we will be talking quickly about the Spider-Man tower here for the next set of floors that will be opening. And first and foremost, this specific week will be very, very Cosmic Crucible based. So this is a chance for a lot of your Cosmic Crucible teams to shine here. So we will have to see what may potentially work and may not work. But yes, this first room does look like we will be up against an accursed team with Odin. So luckily for us, there is a lot of good counters for the accursed, and it's just a matter of using the correct ones. Also trying to ensure that we have enough teams as well here for the other floors, right? So this first one here has Odin and accursed, and what I'm thinking here is Night Stalkers plus another, a couple of other fast characters, right, for speed, because the accursed is going to cancel a lot of that speed bar fill, so you won't be able to use your Star Jammers. You won't be able to use Immortal X, right? You want to make sure you can use characters that are faster than the accursed, and if you have Sentry, if you have Captain Britain, if you have characters that can cancel out their speed, then it's going to make them really, really slow. So I feel like Night Stalkers, they're already a really, really fast team on their own. So that's going to be an interesting, I think, to combine them with some other characters here. But my take is it's probably going to center around Blade and Oath. And I hope that's going to be, I hope it's going to be an okay counter. So we'll have to see here. If it doesn't work, then we'll have to figure it out. I haven't really played up against a cursed Odin that much. Usually it's just a curse / they put Daemon on there, or they have like a Blue Marvel or something. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see how this one holds out. The next one is a combination of Phoenix Force plus Apocalypse and Shadow King. So very, very heavily mutant-based team here, and of course as well utilizing the 3-piece Phoenix Force is it's always a very, very powerful counter. And my typical counter strategy is usually Fantastic Four, but we want to save Fantastic Four for the Cosmic section. So for this particular one here, I'm thinking that we may potentially try our Daemon Sentry, and then of course as well, Jeff can be utilized here as well to strip a lot of the positives. Maybe have Apocalypse in there as well, so that characters can't spawn with Safeguard. But we'll have to see here. We may even be able to slot in maybe perhaps Odin if we need to, right? Because we may not potentially use him later on. So those are just some options, but I feel like I said, I'm going to be centering around kind of Daemon and Sentry for the damage, and we'll have to see who the other key pieces are moving forward. The third section, this is going to be a Daring Warriors team. Yeah, again, I usually use my Professor Xavier plus Fantastic Four, so this will be also interesting. I also know that we can potentially try maybe our Daring Warriors, and for the most part, Quicksilver and Phantom Rider aren't going to make a huge difference, but the diamonds on these guys are massive. So I'm hoping not to use my Professor Xavier this early on, but if we can't figure out a solution, then we may have to potentially use our Xavier and see if that works. You also don't want to drop down to reset your floors as well. So you want to make sure that the characters you use aren't going to hinder your progress throughout. So make sure you guys are planning throughout as well here, because it's gonna be really pain in the arse to reset and do all the other floors again. So the climb's never fun, and I wish they had saved checkpoints, but unfortunately, in my opinion, I feel like they don't really do the checkpoints so that people, are playing the game longer. And I feel like they use those metrics, right? The longer people are engaged, the longer they play, the more likely they are likely to spend money on the game and so forth, because they're putting in their time and effort, right? But like I said, it's got to be a metric or something. I think that's why it should be reasonable to save certain floor sets, but here we are, and they don't do that. So anyways, number 24 is an Eternal team, requiring the first set of requirements, which is, of course, the Spider-Verse. Now, my take here is we're potentially going to be able to take advantage of the fact that we can use our Tangled Web here, because they're Spider-Verse, they've got Crucible buffs. My only concern here is they've also got an enemy Weaver, so this is going to be a very, very tough challenge. And I mean, really, they are basically calling for the Dread team here, I feel like, because it is like a Spider-Verse team. So what I'm thinking here is if you can't get through this floor, and you might have to use your Insidious 6 or Sinister 6, potentially what that means here is we may have to stop at 24 and wait until the reset next week so that we can push through here, because I don't know if I want to bring up I have a couple of the members of the Dread built up, but they're far from where optimal where optimization or optimal power is, and yeah, it's gonna be for sure it's gonna be for sure a decision I have to decide here. And I think the easiest way to kind of get through it without having to spend resources is just to wait until next Wednesday. Wait until the reset. Use your Insidious 6 again. Because the reason why we have to use Insidious 6 or Sinister 6 is because the next section calls for it, right? So this is why we would need to save it or have to wait till the reset. The only drawback to that is, like I said, it cuts your tower climb a bit short, and also you have to make sure that you don't reclimb the tower. If you have to reclimb, there's no way the strategy will work, right? You're gonna have to redo all the floors again, and then you're gonna get stuck at the same point. So just keep that in mind here if you guys are planning on using that specific strategy. The next one, 26, basically calls for Exalted because it's non-mythic X-Men. And I'm just looking at the team here. Professor Xavier is going to cancel out your Immortals. New Moons might be a play as well here, actually. Because I believe Shuri spawns with... Doesn't she spawn with Stealth, right? So that would give the New Moons quite an edge. So yeah, potentially that could be a play here. So, but then Professor X cancels out the speed up. So I think we'll have to wait and see here. But potentially, I mean, it's Exalted X-Men basically written all over this one. I mean, Storm's gonna open up with the ult. Everybody gets the vulnerabilities. Professor X is gonna get ability blocked when he takes a turn. Like, yeah, this one's pretty much written for it, unfortunately. So if you guys don't have Exalted X-Men built, this may also be a potential stopping point for you. And then we get into our first section of Cosmic. This is the one where I was kind of alluding to, where you probably most likely want to save some of your Cosmic characters, like your Quasar, your Fantastic Four, because, Cosmic sections are always brutal, and we've got a combination of Liberty and Vigilante, and they're war buffed as well. So I believe the Vigilante actually cancels out the speed here because of the passive from, I forget who it was. I think is it Silver Sable that does that? Somebody cancels out the speed. So, so that could potentially make things a little bit harder for us, but that's okay because, like I said, Quasar will also cancel their speed. And we also have access to some other great Cosmic characters as well here. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. We could also use our own Surfer Breaker to counter this room as well. But you also want to save your Surfer Breaker if you can for the Mythic Cosmic Villain section, because this is going to be another tough one here with the war buffs. We've got Brimstone plus the old school Avengers, Secret Defenders, or whatever that team is called, and or Heroes for Hire, Heroes for Hire. And they're going to be very, very tough as well here with no speed manipulation. So for sure you want to save Surfer Breaker plus probably Omen or Shadow Conclave, depending on who you have built, because those guys will cancel the speed and strip everything down. And it's also war enabled, so they're going to be able to fully maximize their capabilities on this specific section here. So you won't be able to really use your Fantastic Four because it's going to block them out here. Because yeah, they're not a villain character, so you won't be able to use them anyways. So you want to make sure you can save your Fantastic Four, possibly for the room before. Then we have 29, which is basically calling for symbiotes. So I mean, that's, you know, this one's got symbiotes written all over it. I mean, you can only really use the one team, so you either need to have symbiote 6 or don't. So that's kind of there. And then finally, we have the last room there, which is the Avengers. It's going to call for basically Amazing Avengers. We got the raid bonuses as well here active, so you'll be able to use your Amazing Avengers here. And for the most part, it may be doable potentially, maybe with some other variations. We have been able to find solutions to 10 and 20 respectively from the other weeks before without having to use the full Amazing Avengers. There's been variations that work, so we'll have to test and see here as well. But as I already said, I will be on vacation obviously when the floors are live, so I will get the gameplay out to you guys, whatever I decide on here, and I will also you know, try to get it out in a timely manner. But unfortunately, yeah, just no commentary because we are kind of on the road or in the middle of you know, in the middle of nowhere. So there won't be any cell reception or anything like that, at least until we're back on the you know, back at the Airbnb. But otherwise, hopefully this makes sense. And also just a shout out to my boy Robo here. I will also attach a game, or not a game, a team import code as well here. This was something that he had mentioned, or she or he, my apologies, don't know your gender. They had mentioned weeks ago, and I was trying to get on top of it, but unfortunately just haven't had time to kind of get my bearings. But I will definitely have an import code as well when I am successful and when I do get the other teams worked out here. But for this particular video and all the teams that I talked about here, there will be an import code on this video. But if the teams do change and I have to reuse a different code, I will have that in the follow-up video as well here. But other than that, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys are able to get some value out of this, and hopefully you guys are able to do some early planning as well here for the next set of floors. It does look challenging, but I'm always looking for a challenge, and I always like solving these puzzles. Other than that, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.